Today has been a celebration of this community and all the folks that have been a part of it for the past 10 years. It is the 10th anniversary of the first ever race run here on AG, the channel. The day that saw Jesse Turner go to victory lane in the Season 1 Chick-fil-A Cup Series Daytona 500. We have two races here today. Of course, the main event is coming up in less than an hour. But before we get to that main event featuring many of the drivers that have made this channel what it is over those past 10 years, we run a Prelude race. A race that everyone had an opportunity to sign up for a few weeks ago, an opportunity to be a part of the festivities here today, and an opportunity to race in the 10th anniversary race. The top 5 finishers here in this 30-lap event will run in the main event later on tonight. It's the prelude to the 10th anniversary race here on AG, the channel. We're here at the Daytona International Speedway for 30 laps of action to see who will win on the 10th anniversary of the first ever race run here today. Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to the Daytona International Speedway, the place where it all started 10 years ago with the first running of the Daytona 500 in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. And I never would have imagined that 10 years later, we would have been here today celebrating 10 years of NR offline racing on this channel. Of course, we'll save a lot of the festivities and the emotion of that for the main event later on tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, the official 10th anniversary race here on AG, the channel. But before we get to that main event featuring many of those drivers who have made this channel what it is, guys like Trey Bartow, Jesse Turner, Blaine Keys, we're all in that first race 10 years ago. We have ourselves a special event for everybody else to be a part of with the festivities here today. This is the prelude to the 10th anniversary race, 42 drivers in the field. And all y'all signed up for this a few weeks ago with an opportunity to race in the main event later on tonight, featuring the 2016 NASCAR Xfinity Series car set. This mod in particular, one of my favorite mods that I've ever used on the channel. We've ran 2 Turkey Hill Series with this mod in the past. We're going to run this 10th anniversary prelude race here today. 30 laps at Daytona. The restrictor plates are off as it always was back in the day. And like I said, the top 5 finishers will run in the 10th anniversary race. The number 17, 22, 46, 55, and 95, the open cars for that race. And in that order is how they will line up going into that 10th anniversary race. Of course, I'm not alone for this one. Joined alongside one of my best friends here in the NR 2003 community, someone who I've known for nearly 10 years and have been blessed to know through those 10 years, Mr. Nathan Stapleton. You actually won a championship in the Turkey Hill Series. I believe it was the second season all the way back in 2015. Of course, you'll be running in the main event later on tonight. But for these drivers here today in this Prelude event, how special is it for them to be a part of this event, the 10th anniversary of the first ever race run on the channel?
First off, thanks for having me here. It's great to still be around in this community and on the channel. Basically been around for 9.5 years of the 10 years, and it's great to still be a part of it. And it's great to see all these drivers here competing for 5 spots left. And the names that we have are some of the best currently that did not get invited. Got some Sprint Series drivers, got some World Cup Series drivers. We got everything in between, and we have some of the best that did not get invited here. And I think it's going to be very exciting on who gets the final 5 spots. Of course, without those restrictor plates, that's going to make it a little bit more intense. Back to the old days. But it's going to be a fun one, 30 laps, and I'm honored to be part of the Prelude and maybe get some limited experience going into the main event later tonight, even though it's Daytona, don't need much of it, but it's going to be a fun one, 30 laps, to see who gets the final 5 spots.
And it will be a fun race. And of course, would like to mention no hard feelings to anyone who did not get invited to the 10th anniversary race. We gave out a lot of invites, and it was very difficult. There were so many drivers who I wanted to be a part of that event, But, of course, you can only fit 42 cars in the race in NR 2003, and we had to draw the line somewhere. Most of the folks who were invited have been involved with the channel for at least 5 years or more. Though we did invite Ladova Stret because we had to. She is, of course, the defending Wah Cup Series champion, and she has done an excellent job. But we have a lot of those guys who are very good drivers now. Just like you said, Jack Haas is in this race, of course, a 2-time winner in the Wah Cup Series. Echo Evans Ross is in this race, 2-time winner in the Wah Cup Series as well. Of course, multi-time winner as an owner. We also have Caleb Rose and Andrew Miller in this race, and with all due respect, they would have been invited hadn't they not been invited to be in the booth for the race. You will hear their voices later on tonight in the 10th anniversary event. Rogel Dorn is in this race, of course, a driver who has had many wins in the Wah Cup Series. We also have ourselves Matthew Hubert, who, Nathan, you know, just a few days ago, almost won his first Wah Cup Series race against Daniel Paulus Jr. What a race that was. And a couple of names in this field returning after a while. Jonathan Wong, who's had his driver Campbell Marsh in, a driver that ran a few years ago. We also have Joey Hightower in this race. Great to have him back. Will Parrish is in the field. And just like you said, some of the drivers who are in the HERS Sprint Series, I know you've been doing a great job running that this year, Nathan. Drivers like Haley Anderson Jr., and we have ourselves Marcus Glitch in the field. Duncan Ward's in this field as well. He's had a great season in the Wah Cup Series. We'll get to all 42 drivers in the starting lineup here in just a moment, but what a great field here, and thank you all for signing up for this race and being a part of all the festivities here today. We had our live stream, still doing our live stream currently. We're really excited about all the stuff we've shown today and going over all the races and talking, and I'm saying that now, knowing that I will do that in the future. Kind of interesting how that all worked out, but hey, what a day it's been, and you know, April 1st may not necessarily be the best day for it. I know April Fool's Day is a thing, and I hate it, because for us here at AG the channel, it is a very special day. Of course, the anniversary of that first race won, and of course today being the 10th anniversary of that first race, such a big deal, and you guys have been such a huge part of my life for the past decade. I cannot thank you guys enough. This is a celebration of you guys, celebration of everyone who has made this project and made this community what it is, and I want to celebrate you guys here today more so than anything, because you guys mean the world to me. As I said earlier on today in that first video we uploaded earlier in the day, wouldn't be here without you guys, and you guys mean the world to me. That's just all I gotta say. Well, let's get to the race. It's the Prelude race, 30 laps here at Daytona. Like I said, the restrictor plates are off, no pit stops in this race. It is run how, as a matter of fact, the same exact length as the very first race, which was 30 laps. Tonight's race will be 50 laps for the 10th anniversary race, I should say. But these guys have to go for it from the start, and they're going to be going for it at upwards of 220 miles per hour in these cars as well. Just like we did it back in the day, we turned those restrictor plates off and let them run wild in every super speedway race that we did. We don't do that now in the Wah Cup Series, but regardless of the fact, the racing today is going to be excellent, and we're excited to see who gets it done. Of course, top 5 finishers will be in that 10th anniversary race later on tonight, and unless it is Andrew Miller or Caleb Rose, they do not count to advance on. If any of those guys finish top 5, they're going to be running with all the big dogs later on tonight in the main event. Let's go ahead and show you the starting lineup here for the Prelude to the 10th, as we officially are calling it here today. And we got ourselves Jonathan Wong in the number 18, starting on the pole position. Of course, the starting lineup was set by the order in which everyone signed up a couple nights ago, and Jonathan Wong was the first driver to sign up. Alongside him will be BB Ruiz in the number 19. Got Ace Garcia and Jack Haas. They are in row number 2. We got Braden Perez in number 11, another strong driver here in this field, alongside Duncan Ward in the number 22. Isaac Nichols in the 48 machine alongside a first-time driver in this race, Armin Carter in the number 2. I believe he is the only driver, one of two drivers making their first career starts here tonight, and we're excited to see what he can do in this one. Matt Black in the number 3 alongside Philip Torres in the number 46. There's Andrew Miller in the number 44 alongside Roberto Crown Jr. in the number 33. Dylan Matthews in the number 16 alongside Caleb Rose in the number 28. We have Matthew Hubert in the number 98 to the inside of Jaden Russell in the number 6. Kyle Craven in the number 5 to the inside of Nicholas Cameron in the number 4. Haley Anderson Jr. in the 51 to the outside of Joshua Neely in the 52. Bernardo de Oliveira in the 40 to the inside of Jeffrey Finguy in the number 20. Avery Alford in the number 14 to the inside of Aaron Abel in the number 1. Echo Evans-Ross returning as a driver in the number 93 to the outside of Anthony Hernandez in the 88. Michael Lewis in the 01 machine to the outside of Andrew Williams in the 13. Owen Miles in the 89 to the inside of Joey Hightower in the number 15. David Dixon, the other driver in the field making their first career start here today, in the 62 to the outside of Carson Miller in the 85. Chase McClure in the number 7 to the outside of Will Parrish in the 07. Rogel in the number 17 to the outside of Henry Brown in the 74. Johnson Jamison in the 70 to the inside of Marcus Glitch in the 24. Tanner Pardon in the number 90 to the inside of Leonard Kochmer in the 42. And in the final row, Bradley Ream in the 43 to the inside of Charlie Davenport in the 87. That's the 42 car field here for the prelude to the 10th anniversary race on AG, the channel. The top 5 advance on to the main event later on tonight. And without further ado, let's get these drivers to roll off here for this 30-lap event. And with all of those drivers introduced here today, Nathan, you're either very good or very bad at this, and I don't know if you want to do it for this race, but I'm going to put you on the spot. Who do you think is going to win the prelude to the 10th anniversary race here today at the Daytona International Speedway?
Well, you mentioned it. I'm either very good, I put the winner right, and very bad, and I jinx people. We saw what happened in the Valhalla Cup Series race at Martinsville the other night, but I'm going to pick a random driver to win, since this is Daytona after all. Give me a driver I've known very well in the Sprint Series, and actually winning top 5 in points, I believe, over there. Give me the number 51 of Harley Anderson Jr. to get the win and get the first spot of 5 in the main event later on tonight.
And I would say that the special thing about winning this race is you get to drive the number 17, which was driven by Roger Carruth in the very first race here on the channel as well. And of course, we wish Roger the very best in his real-life NASCAR career. Of course, he has moved on to bigger and better things in his life, and we totally support him in doing that. But you get to drive that same ride that a current NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series driver and race winner once drove on this channel a decade ago. How cool is that? So that's what's up for grabs. Of course, top 5 finishers will also be in the 10th anniversary race later on tonight as well. But we are here to celebrate you guys and have a great race regardless of the fact. And we hope you all enjoy this one and, of course, the 10th anniversary race later on tonight. Thank you so much for everything today. We've had a lot of fun leading up to this moment. And we got 80 laps in total tonight waiting for all of y'all in the celebration of the 10th anniversary of the first race run on the channel. Pace cars down the pit lane. Jonathan Wong and BB Ruiz going to lead us off to the green flag. It's the prelude to the 10th anniversary race, and we're green flag racing here at the Daytona International Speedway. Lap 1 will be led by Jack Haas in the number 39. We'll see some cycling throughout the day. However, we may also see somebody dominate a majority of this race. Not entirely sure how it's going to play out. We do have a range in the ratings for these drivers. They're not all in that same number like they were in the first ever race run on the channel. The racing will be a little bit interesting here today. Braden Perez, Armand Carter in his first ever start. Duncan Ward is 4th, and you got Andrew Miller trying to make it 3 wide for the 5th position on the 3 machine of Matt Black and the 18 of Jonathan Wong. But Jack Haas going to pull away and lead lap number 2 as well.
And you mentioned it, a little bit of a range, a little bit of different racing than what we've seen in the first ever race on the channel. But one thing is still the same. It is still Daytona. It is still Speedway physics with the restricted push off. and we will see if these guys go full wide. Some very intense moments here today. And, well, I almost jinxed it right
you
there.
Did almost jinx it. You did jinx it. They are full
Oh,
wide.
no.
And to your point, Nathan, this is exactly what we do not want to see at this point in the race. However, there will be a slot there for Duncan Ward to slide up into ahead of Armin Carter. And Andrew Miller will keep it together there. Dylan Matthews, she's up to the top 5. And the number 16 in the 98 machine as well there. Matthew Hubert, who you know he's got a chip on his shoulder. And keep in mind, too, in that Cup Series race at Martinsville, he didn't even lead a lap. That was the closest he got to lead all races. Still something to be very proud of if you're Matthew Hubert. But he had the lead at one point off the exit of the corner there, trying to get to Daniel Paulus Jr. And I got to tell you, I still can't get over that race that we had. I'm glad I can talk about it because we had Nathan in the booth as well. I'm not spoiling it for him while we're recording this one. Hey, how about Avery Alford in the 14, a Sprint Series champion? We got a Sprint Series winner here. Andrew Williams has been around a long time. His brother's going to be in the race. I know Andrew would love to join his brother Logan in that 10th anniversary race. Anthony Hernandez on the inside. Owen Miles in the 89. Carson Miller, Lenovo Pro Series champion on the inside lane. They're all still led by Jack Haas in the 39, who may just be one of the best drivers in this field. Of course, a 2-time winner in the Wall Cup Series. And, of course, this is an equal ratings race, so none of that matters. Of course, Jack Haas definitely a solid driver over there in the Cup Series, in the rating series. Same with Braden Perez. Duncan Ward as well has had a great season in the Wall Cup Series. Dylan Matthews made the chase once in the Wall Cup Series. A lot of the stronger drivers in this field finding themselves up front here on lap number 5.
And it's going to be very interesting on what ends up happening with some of these stronger drivers making their way up to the front. Like the 16 of Matthews, like the 98 of Matthew Hubert, who coulda, woulda, shoulda won at Martinsville last time out on the channel. And it's going to be interesting if anyone can really challenge Jack Costi, because it looks like he has the fastest car. And I don't know what is my deal, but the staple chase on AG, the channel, is very strong the last week at Martinsville and almost everything, and then they almost went full wide right when I mentioned it, but looks like these guys are finally calming down, mostly through wide, and battle for second here comes to 22 of Duncan Wood, and it's going to be interesting what ends up happening. Maybe I just need to shut up again, because they're getting tight once again here at Daytona.
Well, you jinxed everyone and their brother in that Martinsville race, so you'd think you'd have it out by now.
Nope.
A little different. This is a little different than Martinsville, I will say. A very different racetrack here at Daytona than at the Martinsville Speedway. That 39, though, is absolutely strong. How about that middle lane there with Andrew Williams getting a push there from Avery Alford? And Avery Alford, and Andrew's in a perfect situation. Those are his 2 Cup Series drivers in front of him and behind him, in Duncan Ward and Avery Alford. How about that for Andrew Williams? So those guys are going to help Andrew out. And they're all going to try to get into that slot, into those slots to make it into the 10th anniversary race. Be a part of the bigger race, the biggest race of the night. One of the biggest races we've ever done on the channel. Going to be a huge celebration here in less than an hour, but we got a great race going on here. Anthony Hernandez on the inside, Carson Miller, David Dixon, first career start on the channel as far as I know. I don't run every race on the channel anymore, so I'm not as up to speed on that as I used to be, but he's moving his way on the inside lane right there. You got Tanner Parton on the inside as well, the number 15 of Joey Hightower. Great to see Joey Hightower back, and he's got a good run going for him. Charlie Davenport, Rogel Dorn on the inside lane currently. A lot of shuffling going on back in there as they all attempt to get the Jack Haas, and in the wall, number 40. And I'm not entirely sure how that went down. You're going to see the replay in the corner of your screen right there. That is Bernardo de Oliveira that got sent to the outside wall. And a tough break there for the number 40 of Bernardo de Oliveira. It looks like, well, his opportunity of winning this race is not over yet, but it's definitely not going to be easy going from 42nd to the lead, especially if we do not end up with any caution in this race. That 39 is out of here. He has led every lap so far here in this prelude to the 10th. We've had different drivers cycle their way up front, but nobody has been able to get to Jack Haas, who's had a 2 or 3 car length lead pretty much this entire race.
That 39 is definitely the best car up front right now. These guys are cycling from second on bat, but that 39 is doing wide. Which one he could do in real life and lead on it.
Oh no, and a big wreck back in there! And it is going to be a big one here at the Trioval. Bernardo Oliveira is caught up in that one. The 6th machine is around. Jaden Russell Matt Black is flying through the air as well, and Aaron Abel caught up in this one. The 01 machine of Michael Lewis is also torn up. The 4 of Nicholas Cameron, Echo Evans Ross is torn up as well. Haley Anderson Jr., there's the jinx for you there, though. I don't know if she actually got any significant damage. Philip Torres is done. Caleb Rose was caught up in that one as well, and so was Jeffrey Finguy, Rogaldorn, Marcus Glitch.
That was the Daytona big one off turn number 4. My goodness.
And of course, point in case why we don't necessarily run the restrictor plates off anymore on these races is those wrecks can get very violent and can take out a few too many cars that we do not need to be taken out of. Well, that will make this race interesting because not all those guys will be out of the race, but we will have lap traffic, and that's how the traditional Daytona races tend to go here. That's how they've always gone, and we expected that here today. Jack Haas, though, did not want to see that. He lost that huge lead that he had there on the field, and he is going to have to fend these guys off on a restart and fend off lap traffic as this race goes along. Tough break for everyone involved. Michael Lewis, Philip Torres, and I always hate to see drivers get caught up in a wreck early on in these special events. This is the only race that y'all signed up for this, and that's the only race that will be a part of it for these guys because they will not have a chance at getting top 5. But, hey, still love to see all these guys continuing the race in all their respective series, and Caleb, of course, as well, all that he does on the channel. Tough break to see him get caught up, but they're all in many other races throughout the season, and we should expect some of those guys to get some race victories as the rest of the year unfolds. Well, Jack Haas is your race leader in the number 39. Duncan Ward, Brain Perez, Andrew Miller, Armin Carter in his first ever start, racing with some of the best drivers who didn't get invited. Let's put it that way. Dylan Matthews there, Andrew Williams, Matthew Hubert, Avery Alford, Jonathan Wong in the 18. Some great drivers up here in this Prelude race. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring up the first caution of the day here in the Prelude to the 10th at the Daytona International Speedway. They were not even 4 wide. Echo Evans Ross in the 93. Cut down on Henry Brown in the 74 through the tri-oval, who got in the Marcus Glitch, who then got into Rogaldorn. Echo got up in the Chase McClure in the 7, and all heck broke loose from there. Wow. Normally, most of the wrecks that we see here at Daytona are caused by a 4-wide situation. That was not the case there. Philip Torres, hard hits for Will Parrish and Jeffrey Finguy. Roberto Grant Jr. getting spun around in the 33 machine, and then they just pile in behind. Matt Black in the 3. Bunch of white smoke. Can't even tell what's going on there. Haley Anderson Jr. in the 51 machine. Bernardo de Oliveira, who got into the wall earlier on. It's a piece of that one. The 6 machine went spinning to the inside there as well. Into the inside wall. Tough break there for Jaden Russell. Will Parrish caught up in that one. And Matt Black flipping around. Michael Lewis in the 01 machine as well. And that just caught everyone off guard. They were not going 4 wide, and everyone piled in right there off the exit of the tri-oval. And it's the big one here at Daytona, and this prelude to the 10th anniversary race.
Well, it's safe to say that the back part of the field is not going to be happy with Echo Evans Ross here. Not seen this in a long time, and unfortunately, just a whole chain of events happens, and a lot of torn up race cars. Matt Black, welcome to Daytona, and welcome to probably the most violent ride that you've had yet on the channel. Flipping wildly down at the front stretch, and that number 3 basketball shop's car is totaled, along with many others. And you hate to see it very early on in the prelude to the 10th, but that's how it was back in the day, and it has happened once again. But I don't remember seeing that chain reaction type thing happening, so that was a odd one there. Tough play for everyone involved though. Matt Black, welcome to Daytona, a violent flip, and tough play for everyone else.
We're going to have to go on an onboard for that one because there's so much that happened and we got to get a little more in depth on how it all went down. Let's go on board somebody. We'll figure it out here in just a moment for you. On board the 46 of Philip Torres. This happens right in front of him. Evans Ross getting into Henry Brown and the rest. Let's see what happens from there. Definitely a wild ride. You see Matt Black flipping there front of him. Wild stuff here at Daytona. Let's go one more on board with Matt Black in the 3. And on board the 3 of Matt Black. The wildest ride of all these drivers here. Oh my, he got rear-ended. Completely rear-ended there in the 3 machine. That doesn't make you dizzy. No. This is something to have. Tough break there for Matt Black and all those guys involved, but the show must go on. Jack Haas still leading here at Daytona. Let's see what he does on the restart here in the Prelude to the 10th. We are back here at the Daytona International Speedway, the Prelude to the 10th anniversary race. Of course, that race, the one where we will feature all the best drivers over the past 10 years on the channel who are still active, of course. Excited to see all those drivers go after it on the very same place in the very same cars that started it all on April 1st, 2015, 10 years ago today. Right now, we got ourselves Jack Haas leading in this Prelude race ahead of Duncan Ward, Braden Perez, Andrew Miller, Armin Carter. 16 machine there of Dylan Matthews, Andrew Williams in the 13, the 98 machine of Matthew Hubert, Avery Alford in the 14, Jonathan Wong in the 18. That is the top 10, and out of the race after that massive accident, number 20 of Jeffrey Finguy, Rogel Dorn in the 17, Nicholas Cameron in the 4, 46 of Philip Torres, the 40 machine of Bernardo de Oliveira, the 3 machine of Matt Black, the 24 of Marcus Glitch, the 93 machine of Echo Evans Ross, and the 01 of Michael Lewis will all fail to finish here today. Everybody else, though, is still on the lead lap, including Chase McClure, who is at the back of the field there in the number 7. We'll see if any of these guys have significant enough damage to be off the pace, though it does appear that a lot of the guys who are in this race look pretty good. So we'll see if there is any internal damage where they're off the pace a bit more than they should be, but regardless of the fact, it's just the way Daytona is. We always expect it to be that way. We expect it to be that way in the 10th anniversary race later on tonight. It's not going to be a caution-free race. Let's just put it that way. Well, Jack Haas was hoping it was going to be a caution-free race. He's the only driver to have led so far here today. Will he be able to hold these guys off? We're back underway with 17 laps to go in the Prelude to the 10th.
Great jump from the 39. Great jump from Andrew Miller in the 44. Going to go 3 wide in the second. Of course, he's gaining some track time and some knowledge about this track with the restricted place off or the 10th anniversary race later tonight, as he will be in a booth. But he's also trying to get a win, because I'm pretty sure if you win, for Andrew's case, even if you won't be in the actual 10th anniversary race, it will still count as a race victory on the channel.
What do you think, man? This is an official race on the channel.
100%.
Hey, Blaine Keys can go for number 30 later tonight. What a race it would be if he got that. But Andrew Miller, to your point, it's actually been, if I'm not mistaken, since the All-Star race in the 2021 NOF World Cup Series, since he's gone to victory lane as a driver, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong with that. I know Eddie knows that. He's got his driver, Duncan Ward, running second, but Jack Haas still pulling away like it's nobody's business in that 39 machine. A lot of speed in that 39 here today, and all these guys keep battling for that second position, trying to catch up to him. Andrew Williams with help from Anthony Hernandez, BB Ruiz on the inside lane as well. Bradley Reams found himself close to the top 10. Tanner Parton's up here, Ace Garcia. It's amazing. A lot of these guys that are up here are guys that were kind of on the cusp of maybe getting an invite. There just wasn't enough space, but these are guys who have a lot of experience, who have run very well on the channel, like Andrew Williams. Well, not in the Light Series East, I'm sorry, but he's been a great owner in the Wall Cup Series, and I think there's a lot to be said about that. But they're all led by Jack Haas, who we know is a great driver. However, big push on that inside.
Boy.
Here comes Andrew Williams. He wants to join his brother for one of the biggest races this channel's ever seen. Williams brothers have been a part of this channel for a long time. Of course, Logan has many more wins on the channel than Andrew does, and that's why Logan got the invite, Andrew didn't. But Andrew, he wants to be part of it. He's got a shot at doing so, but so does Anthony Hernandez. Going to split down to the inside of the 13 and take the race lead away. We're halfway through this Prelude to the 10th. And Anthony Hernandez trying to get that 39 at the line. Jack Haas has still led every lap so far. He'll lead the most laps in this one. Here comes Hernandez, BB Ruiz, Tanner Parton on the inside lane. It's shuffling up a lot up front here at Daytona.
I don't like what Anthony Hernandez did there. I thought he probably should have just pushed the 13 of Van Williams up to the front and stayed behind him if he wanted. Every time I speak 4 wide, here we go. Tanner Parton might Cup Series driver in the World Cup Series.
That Baby Ruiz is the one who shoved up right there. Oh, this is always a trouble spot off the exit of turn number 4. Very loose part of the track. They're going to keep it together for now, but Andrew Williams, Baby Ruiz, they are not in a good situation. And any moment these guys could wreck. They're trying all they can to avoid wrecking. Tanner Parton's going 3 wide for second. Baby Ruiz in the middle. He's got to let Andrew by on the outside if he's going to have a shot at getting out of it. There is a little bit more room, but they're still 4 wide as they go down the backstretch. Here comes the 5 machine of Kyle Craven to the inside. And there's just no room for either of these guys to go, and neither's giving an inch. And now Andrew Miller pushing up on Anthony Hernandez, and now we got double 4 wide up front as Tanner Parton's going for the race lead. He might win the race back to the line the way this is going. They're still 4 wide, and then they go! Duncan Ward's around, so is Kyle Craven. Andrew Williams, Baby Ruiz caught up in that one as well, and our second caution of the day here in the Prelude to the 10th.
And watch out for the Arca Blaze possibly racing back to the line as the 11 gets hit by the 13. I don't think Andrew Williams is going to make it. They are still wrecking. And that is why we don't do... Oh man, that is why we have restricted race turned on. 4 wide, 2 rows deep, racing back to the line. Another huge wreck here at Daytona. But the outcome is still the same. Jack Haas the race lead. He might win, and it might be a battle for second.
Yeah, I still think he has led every lap so far in this race. I don't think anybody has gotten to him. It's now Tanner Parton who is second. Ace Garcia, Andrew Miller, Charlie Davenport started dead last in this race, and now he is in the 5th position. Bradley Ream, Anthony Hernandez, Duncan Ward got a piece of that. Joey Hightower, Carson Miller. And it's such a shame for those guys getting caught up. They were running well in this race, like Andrew Williams. Kyle Craven was moving his way up. Owen Miles torn up in the 89 machine. Armin Carter, his first ever start, he's going to get torn up. The 33 there. Roberto Crown Jr. may have gotten a piece of that one. They're waiting for some of these guys to get back around. Baby Ruiz as well. Got the 14 machine of Avery Alford who got significant damage. Of course, all those guys coming down the pit lane to repair it. And it's like we're at Martinsville all over again, although here the wrecks are a lot bigger and takes out a lot more drivers than we would like. Well, that was our second caution of the day. Will it be our last one? These guys are very aggressive out there, and this is how it used to be. These guys used to be very aggressive around these racetracks back in the day, and that's what we were seeing here today in this Prelude to the 10th anniversary race. Jack Haas is still out front on the 39, but will he get the win? That's the big question. First, let's see what happened to bring out the second caution here at the Daytona International Speedway. Well, this was inevitable. We knew it was going to be a wreck at some point when they went 4 wide, double wide. And you got Andrew Miller, Anthony Hernandez there in front, Baby Ruiz and Andrew Williams who had gone 4 wide for over a lap right there. Duncan Ward gets sent to the wall, but the wreck really does actually start behind. It was not necessarily the Hernandez and Miller 4 wide that caused this. Kyle Craven in the 5, Braden Perez in the middle of all this as well, Armin Carter, there goes Joshua Neely. Owen Miles into Braden Perez. This was not as near of a violent accident as the first one, but it's still going to take a few guys out. Some hard hits there. Isaac Nichols right into Kyle Craven right there. Baby Ruiz around on the 13 machine. Andrew Williams in the 13. That's such a tough break. I just went off saying, like, if his brother made it and he didn't make it. And this is where it's like the line had to be drawn somewhere with these guys. The names that we have in this 10th anniversary race, which hopefully by now you have seen who's in it. You know, they've been part of the channel for so long, and Andrew has been part of the channel for so long as well. And I want to thank him as well for all that he does. He is a great part of this community in more ways than one. And wish him the very best in his ownership side there in the Wawa Cup Series. I know he is going to be rooting for his brother in this 10th anniversary race, though he is unfortunately not going to be a part of it himself. Getting in the Braden Perez right there, Baby Ruiz. Your typical 4-wide accident here at Daytona, but to your point, Nathan, I don't know if you said it live or behind the scenes, but first time you've seen double 4-wide in quite some time here at Daytona, and that was absolutely the case right there. We don't see that too often anymore, but we saw it right there here in this Prelude to the 10th.
4-wide never works at Daytona, and especially when it's like this. The 19 of Ruiz gets involved, and we need a list of who all gets involved in this one, because it is a huge crash, and unfortunately the track is blocked. Some more colors get involved. The 11, the 13 again, the 19 again, just several colors, and some of the colors, oh man,
Aaron Abel sent
right
Anderson
there,
into the wall there.
And that is why we don't race back to the line at this type of speed, because that ends up happening. But that is Daytona. A lot of big hits like that, not as big as the first one. Luckily, we didn't have any flip, but we did see on the corner of my eye a massive save from the number 52.
Well, definitely a wild moment, and a pretty good moment for Joshua Neely. We're going to replay what you just mentioned there and see how good of a save it was for Joshua Neely and get back to racing here in the Prelude to the 10th. To your point here, Nathan, Joshua Neely in the 52 with a great save. And he's still going to be in this race as well, still going to have an opportunity at winning this race and advancing. Got popped there by Owen Miles. But that's just beautiful. It's like slow motion, and he just kept going. The rest of these guys did not have the same fate, unfortunately. And then right here, Aaron Abel and Haley Anderson Jr. And the one machine just got into the quarter panel. Wow, that was a shot and a half right there into the wall. Tough break for those guys, but they're all still chasing Jack Haas in the 39 machine. He has been the dominant driver of this race. As a matter of fact, he has led every lap so far. Will he get the win? That is the big question. Let's get back to racing and find out here in the Prelude to the 10th anniversary race here on AG, the channel. And we are back once again here at the Daytona International Speedway in the Prelude to the 10th anniversary race. Top 5 finishers will run in the 10th anniversary race here in less than half an hour. Top of the hour, 8 p.m. Eastern Time for the 10th anniversary race here. 10 years to the day of the first ever race run. Jesse Turner, who won that race, actually ran the 39 quite a bit in the Turkey Hill Series back in the day. And Jack Haas has led every lap so far in this Prelude race, though. It has been anything but boring. Out of the race now include Kyle Craven, Armin Carter, BB Ruiz, Jaden Russell, Isaac Nichols, Owen Miles, Braden Perez, Andrew Williams. And they join the rest of the drivers who were caught up in the first accident, leaving only 25 drivers on the lead lap and in the race here. Lap 21 of 30. Going to be 9 laps to go when we restart here with Jack Haas, Tanner Parton, Ace Garcia, Andrew Miller, Charlie Davenport, Bradley Lean, Anthony Hernandez, Duncan Ward, Joey Hightower, and Carson Miller, the top 10. Joshua Neely, 74 of Henry Brown. Dylan Matthews, 42 machine of Leonard Kochmer's up here. Matthew Hubert, 78 as well. Johnson Jamison. A lot of guys in this field who have an opportunity of winning this race. They got to get around Jack Haas, though, in the 39. Of course, he won one of the last major special events on the channel, the Christmas Eve Showdown, and that controversial finish. Will he get another one here today and introduce himself to the 10th anniversary race here in just a few minutes? To the inside, Ace Garcia and Tanner Parton right there. Andrew Miller didn't get a good restart that last time around. He doesn't have another good one here. Charlie Davenport and Bradley Ream, the last row buddies, are both knocking on the door of the top 5 right here, trying to find themselves to the front and get this race victory.
That's how you have to get the job done sometimes at Daytona. If you start at bat, get through not one but 2 major wets, and now you're on the outside of the top 5. And let's see on who can get inside the top 5. It's really, I think Jack Haas is going to guarantee almost getting the race win here. Because now with even less than what we have with the Pat, he's pulling away even more. But I'm not continuing upon that. 90 machine looks really fast. Of course, I know he's been very fast in the World Cup Series this year with my team. And he's in the draft of Jack Haas. He might have a shot 43 up into 25. And this is what they need to do. If they want a shot at the race win at driving that iconic number 17, they need to get single file and challenge Jack Haas.
And here comes the 43 of Bradley Ream. Started 41st in this race. He's going for 3rd now. That 43 is quick. Tanner Parton, though, is right there in the back bumper of Jack Haas. He just needs some help to make a pass work. I think Duncan Ward's a bit off the pace from the damage from that accident, and that is why he has slipped back just a little bit there. Joey Hightower and Anthony Hernandez ahead of him right there. Johnson Jameson, Carson Miller, David Dixon there in the 62 trying to work their way. They all have an opportunity of getting in the top 5 at least and getting him that 10th anniversary race. Same with Jonathan Wong right there, Dylan Matthews, but it has split up quite a bit here in this field. The good news is I don't think that we'll anticipate these guys running in the lap traffic in this race, and they're going to be able to race it out all the way to the end. There goes Bradley Ream to the inside of Tanner Parton. That is for 2nd place. Nobody has been able to get around Jack Haas all day, But hey, Daniel Paulus Jr. led over 100 laps in Martinsville and only won the race by a 1/10 of a second ahead, not even a 1/10, a 100th of a second ahead of Matthew Huber, and he almost lost it there. It ain't over until it's over, and Jack Haas knows that. He has done an excellent job at Tanner Parton, Andrew Miller, Bradley Ream, Charlie Davenport. All these guys want a shot at this race victory. Of course, Andrew Miller will be in the booth with us later on for that 10th anniversary race, so if he finishes top 5 here, the 6th place finisher will be in the 10th anniversary race as well. Johnson Jameson has a shot at that, closing in on Ace Garcia. They're all trying to close in on Jack Haas to become the 5 laps to go here in the prelude to the 10th.
Andrew Miller trying to peek to the inside of Tanner Parton. That's not what they want to do if they want to get past Jack Haas, but maybe they just don't want to at this point. Maybe they just think, hey, Jack Haas is just too overpowering in that 39 machine, and they can't really do anything about it. Everyone's going to go up to the outside lane. This is almost like, Dale Jr. back in the day, where everyone would just follow him because he had the fastest car every time. And this is what this has turned into. Everyone's just following Jack Haas in that number 39. Tanner Parton's up here, Bradley Ream, 43, 87, 25. It's going to be a close one to the finish, as it's going to be a handful of laps to go. Tanner Parton all over the back bumper.
Oh, here we go.
And here we go, side by side.
And Bradley didn't stay with them, so you got to have help if you're going to make the pass work. Charlie Davenport is going to go with Tanner Parton right there and push the 90 machine to the inside of Jack Haas. And outside lane's going to have a good push, though. That is generally the place you want to be going down the straightaways here. Davenport's got to stick with that 90 machine if that inside lane's going to work at all. Andrew Miller trying to get something to work. Johnson Jameson trying to peek down as well. They got a bit more help, but Tanner Parton couldn't quite hold the inside as they continue to shuffle around behind on the inside lane. And that's what we're seeing here. And of course, this is GNS physics, different physics package than what we're going to see later on tonight in the 10th anniversary race. But this has got to be frustrating for these drivers, trying to find some way around Jack Haas to win this race. Bradley Ream in the 43 up to second now on that outside lane with Ace Garcia behind him. David Dixon is up here as well. Andrew Miller has fallen back a little bit. Johnson Jameson trying to find some speed in that 78 machine, trying to push these guys to the inside. They're going to have one more shot on Jack Haas in this race. I just don't think it's going to come from the inside lane. I don't think it's going to be a complete pass for the race win if it happens. I think it's going to be at the line. Bradley Ream's going to try to be the one who gets it. They're in the second position in the number 43. The number 43 won the first ever race with Jesse Turner driving that 43 machine. Bradley Ream would love to do it 10 years to the day, getting a win in the 43 at Daytona. He's got 2 laps to do it here. They're filing out behind the 39 machine. Parton now down to the inside of Bradley Ream. He's not happy with the fact that the 43 didn't go with him, but he has no help himself. And Jack Haas still pacing this field here at Daytona.
I like the speed that I see from Tanner Parton, but he's got no help from behind. A 7 of Davenport going to help the 43. And here we go, it's going to be the white flag, the side-by-side for the final spot between the 25 and 78. And it might not be over Ream versus Haas for the prelude to the 10th victory final lap at Daytona.
And will Bradley Ream have anything for Jack Haas here in this race, or will Jack Haas go wire to wire on a super speedway in this prelude to the 10th anniversary race? These guys are falling behind too much, and Bradley Ream has no help, and this 39 has just been the fastest car all day long. He got the highest number in every single range for this one. They're coming to the checkered flag. Jack Haas, Bradley Ream, they're too far behind for third to catch up. It's either going to be the 43 or the 39, but Bradley has no help, and Jack Haas is going to get another special event win. The 39 of Jack Haas wins the prelude to the 10th anniversary race. Bradley Ream, Tanner Parton, Ace Garcia, and Charlie Davenport will be running in the 10th anniversary race later on tonight in the Cup cars with the big name drivers.
What a job from Davenport. They were 3 wide for that final transfer spot back there. That was intense. That was almost acted like a dual race right there. 3 wide for the final spot. And Jack Haas, you don't see this every day. From wire to wire, from lap 1 to lap 30. Wins in dominant fashion and drives number 17 in the 10th anniversary race later tonight. And you know
Bradley
what?
is going to love this. I said we were going to go in order with the car numbers that were not to be taken, that were not taken from the guys who were invited. It goes 17, 22. Bradley Ream loves, he's a Joey Logano fan, so he's going to be happy being in that 22. Tanner Parton will be driving the number 46. Jack Haas, of course, will be driving the number 17. Ace Garcia will be driving the number 55. And Charlie Davenport will be driving the number 95 in the 10th anniversary race here in just a few moments. That was fun. Even though I don't think we had a single pass for the race lead in this race, that was still a fun race. And hey, it's just the prelude to the 10th anniversary race. We got ourselves the main event coming up here on the top of the hour, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be a lot of fun. The starting lineup will be randomized, as we did so back in the day. So I can't tell you right now who's going to be starting on the pole position. It may be Jack Haas, because all 5 of those guys who are joining those 37 other drivers already invited are going to be randomized along with them. They're not going to be sent to the back of the field. I think we're going to see some more passing for the race lead in the 10th anniversary race as well, so do not fear. GNS physics works a little bit differently here at Daytona than it does in the Cup Series, but what a race here at Daytona. We're just getting started for the racing here tonight, Nathan. You're in that 10th anniversary race. I know you want to win it. But what do you expect to see at the top of the hour once we get some of the best drivers who have ever run on the channel all together in one race for 50 laps, the World Center of Racing?
Well, hopefully with some of the best on the channel, we don't see what we saw here in the Prelude. But they just have to get out of the system. Unfortunately, 2 big ones here with almost half the field taken out, and with a lot of big names on the channel involved. But that's how Daytona. It does not matter if it's speedway physics, restrictor plates turned on or off. You see the big ones here every once in a while. But I am impressed with Jack Haas. I'm impressed with basically second on bat, because they were racing very hard from second on bat. Ream, Parton, Garcia, and Davenport 3 wide for the final spot between Davenport, Jameson, and Andrew Miller, I believe. And it was Davenport that got the final spot. Unfortunately, Andrew, you did not win. I'm sorry. But take that information into the main event in the booth, and I'm definitely going to take some information in the car in the number 1 of Chip Ganassi, my favorite team ever. This one they're not in display anymore, but it's gonna be a fun race. If today in this 30-lap race showed anything, even though Jack Haas dominated, anyone was able to get up to second, and I'm very much looking forward to it tonight for the 10th anniversary main event here at Daytona. It's gonna be a blast, and I cannot wait to be a part of it.
It's going to be a lot of fun once we get to it later on tonight. And excited to see who ends up getting the race victory, because it's going to be a special win for whoever gets it. And I haven't hyped it up too much, but this is a once-in-a-lifetime race that we're about to have here on the channel. The 10th anniversary race. There's only going to be one 10th anniversary race here on the channel. And it is about to be run here in just a few minutes. Top of the hour at 8 p.m. Eastern Time right here on AG, the channel. Jack Haas, Bradley Ream, Tanner Parton, Ace Garcia, and Charlie Davenport all going to be in that race. Will it be Jesse Turner again? Will Blaine Keys get his 30th career win on the channel? Or will Mr. Edge get another Daytona win? Will he win by absolutely nothing? That was Daniel Paulus Jr. in the Cup Series the other night, basically, but we're going to have a lot of fun with it. 10th anniversary race, going to have Caleb and Andrew in the booth. Nathan, you're going to be racing. Of course, if you weren't racing, you'd be in the booth too. You know it. But we're excited. We're excited for all of it, and it's going to be a blast here in just a few moments. And it's been a blast all day. And I can't thank you guys enough for all the support over 10 years. Of course, like I said, we're going to save a lot of that for the main event here. But can't thank you guys enough for everything over the past 10 years. This community means so much to me. All the friends that I have made, all the people I have met that have made me a much better person than I was 10 years ago. I owe a lot to y'all for just being there for me in my life. And I said it earlier today, and I'll keep on saying it all day long, that this is the greatest community, greatest group of people I have ever been a part of. And I don't know what I'd do without y'all. And you're definitely a part of that one, Nathan. And so glad to be a great friend of yours and a great friend of so many of yours here in this community. And we're going to celebrate it some more. 50 laps at Daytona coming up at the top of the hour for the 10th anniversary race. Well, thank you, Nathan, for joining me. Good luck tonight. Jack Haas gets the win in the Prelude to the 10th. And that is his second special event win on the channel. I believe that's either his 5th or 6th win on the channel now as a driver. We're excited to see what he does, along with the 41 other guys in the 10th anniversary race coming up here at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. We're in daylight now, so yeah, fun. Thank you so much for watching once again. Congratulations to Jack Haas. We will see you guys later for the 10th anniversary race. On behalf of Nathan Stapleton, as always, I will see you guys later.